try to put it up here. Yeah, it's not funny. Alright, so I'm going up against Android 21 with the schemes. So I'm trying to keep at least one blue energy, shuffling the rest of the stuff away. Of course, I want my thwarting, so I can thwart. Alright, so now I got 3 blue energy sources, so I charge that. Because I feel that I might not need it anytime soon. And of course, I get the tokens and getting balls, doing what I do, doing my leader's ability. I'm already aware of the fact that my opponent probably is going to try to do a mill strategy. I mean, I'll assume they're trying to do some form of mill strategy. If not, that'll just be interesting. Just to see this. Just be something different. This duel went on for 2 hours, by the way. But obviously I can sped it up. So this video will only take 30 minutes. But he didn't want to use the ability, so I had to put the battle card back. I was like, oh, okay. Didn't want to. I mean, it would have been logical for him to do so. I mean, I would, if I was him, I would keep bouncing my Goku back to my hand, because that would force me to have to keep paying energy to keep replaying it. But I think part of it was that he wants to try to prevent me from using it as a way to turn off his scheme and then play something else and then attack with the other card I play, the other battle card I play, right? That's probably what his train of thought was. So, of course, he's playing his Unison, so now this will make it where the tokens won't be able to attack. As you can see, I already used one of his tokens to attack him with. Oh. Let me put the camera down a little bit so you can at least see his life. Let's see. There you go. So you see he's at 7. Let's move this a little bit further. Go move it here. Should be out of everybody's way. Now we can see the effect of the cards. Sorry about that. I mean, I could just take my face out of here completely, right? Just got off of work. The irony is that I played this game right before my shift was over. I didn't expect it to take 2 hours, but it shows the power, the potential of the deck. So this is my blue Hatchhyack deck, if it's not obvious. So it's the new version. I already uploaded the deck profile. So right now I'm just testing out the deck, making some gameplay. So of course I got my blue Unison up, my Raditz, which is my go-to Unison. It's one of the reasons why this inspired me originally to even put blue in Hatchhyack, was Raditz. So I'm able to attack with him. Obviously I'm able to draw. We all know I'm not going to wake up my leader. So my opponent, already on turn 3, my opponent's already at 6 life. I'm still at 8. He has a leader and a Unison swing. But you might notice that he's not swinging with the Unison, which is a little odd, but okay. Because he obviously should be able to tell that I can't awaken, so he can easily apply pressure with the Unison. So I know most people would definitely try to use the Unison. But even if he did use the Unison, I could block the leader and I could block the Unison, so that's the whole idea. But at least he could try, because if he combos 5k, he can knock off markers off my Unison, so he can at least increase the chances of getting the Unison off the board. So that's something we definitely should have considered, was to get rid of my Unison. So I swing, I use my 4-star ball. Ooh, that was wrong. I just realized that. Oops. 4-star ball works only on leader and battle cards, not Unisons. I can't remember that. Oops. So gotta double check that. Pretty sure it only works on battle cards, leader cards. Because I think twice I used a 4-star ball on the Unison. So that's wrong. Gotta fix that. I mean, it's been a while since I used some of these cards. I mean, typically don't use the 4-star ball with a Unison. Typically, I don't even use the 4-star ball offensively. I typically use it defensively. Unless I'm attacking with a skillless battle card, then I do use it offensively because it technically turns into a super combo. But I gotta double check, because if I'm pretty sure that 4-star ball only works on leaders and battle cards, so that was a misplay. But my opponent's not saying anything, so valid game state. But I don't want to make that mistake. As you can see, the deck's running on the back of the Unison. So he finally combos, he's taken off markers, so we all know that I'm planning to bring out my 4-drop Unison, so I'm trying to get the most out of this Raditz before, I have to replace him. As you can see, my opponent, finally try to get rid of my Unison, which is good because he wasted a lot of attacks on the Unison, and I already planned to replace him. Oh, this reminds me, you want to charge 5 blue energy, then start charging black energy after that. Because typically, at most, you're going to use 4 blue energy to play your 4-drop Unisons. But you want to have at least 1 extra energy up, right, for your dimension, for your Senzu Beans and for your Dirty Burst. So you see how I tapped 5 so I can have 5 markers. So notice that, because of course, minimum 4 blue, but I can charge extra. So I forced him up to 30k double strike. So now he has to try to get to 35. I think he combos up to 45, which was excessive, but I guess he wanted to. Yeah, because right here, all he would need is just 10k more. Let's see. He's trying to do some arrival stuff. I expected him to play Bad Omen. I know he has 2 in the energy, but I would expect him to have at least 1 more in the deck. But okay, yeah, that's the thing right there. So okay, so he comboed to 35. I guess 45 was some other time he comboed to 45k, but right there was just that. So restand. So I got my sparking negates in my hand, so I'm good defense. I have the -1 ability of my Unison, and I have the blocker skill, so I could potentially stop 3 attacks. So I'll take advantage of my ability to just get rid of that and bottom deck it, which ironically is actually working against me later on. Bottom decking his cards. So I do sparking, take 1, boom, boom. Also, that's how I took damage. I took damage from my own effect. not from an actual attack. That's funny. Plays that. I mean, realistically, nah. Let that happen. I could have taken. I could have let the Unison do his thing. Like I could have blocked with the Unison. Right? Could let it do his thing, and then when he attacked with his Unison, then the sparking. But since his attack was to my Unison and not me, I don't care. So you see, 4 blue for that. I got 2 energy up. You see, I have a Senzu Bean, but I don't have a blue energy for Senzu Bean. So even though I don't have no more blue energy in my hand right now, if I get extra blue energy, then I could put it there. Now we notice that I have more cards in my deck than my opponent. So obviously, strategically, I shouldn't be using my leader's effect. The Boo Unison is enough. Just draw 1 card a turn. The fact that you're using my leader's ability, ripping literally 3 cards off the top of my deck, is obviously counterintuitive, right? It's a bad idea, especially if I truly believe that he might have milled cards in his deck. I mean, by this time I realized that his deck doesn't mill. If anything, his deck is just mainly like set up to try to burn me. So it's just blue green, Android burn. So it's like, oh, okay. Of course, he has the baby hatch, of course, right? Duh. So he's putting up a good amount of defense. Obviously, I'm playing hatch, so I'm already playing defense. So I dropped the Oceanus. He has 17 cards left in his deck. His auto still triggers, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to resolve auto, so get rid of this hatch. That thing restands, I'm like, oh yeah, gotta be careful about that. It's double strike and dual attack, so me realizing that his effect doesn't make me discard the Android 1718 makes me ramp. I was like, oh. And then it's up to 2 cards. I was surprised they only chose 1. But it is up to 2, so he can do one if he wants. Just surprised that he's not trying to just like rip as many cards out my hands as possible. Since he gets to choose, so you think he would choose more stuff like Senzu Bean. You think he will want Senzu Bean in the energy area instead of in my hand. Definitely will want the double strikes in my energy instead of my hand, right? So just something to keep in mind. Charge a maximum of 5 blue. That we have the 4 blue you need for your Unisons, but still have 1 blue extra just in case. So you want to play Senzu Bean and do some Senzu Bean stuff. You notice if you play real close attention, you notice I'm Unison battle. Like I'm mainly, like when it comes to the battle cards, it's mainly for defense. But the Unisons are the ones that are putting in the work. The work. So there, I blocked that attack. We're already halfway through the video, so that's 1 hour has passed. So 1 hour has passed since this is halfway through the video. So this acts a lot like another Oceanus. So that's why I put it in the deck. It has a certain level of synergy with the deck, but the main thing is just that it acts like another Oceanus or a barrier blocker, right? Not barrier blocker, blocker negate. A 3 energy blocker negate, but it works. As you can see, it was useful, so can't complain. They put in some work. So part of what made this game take like 2 hours and stuff was stuff like that, waiting for him to figure out what he's gonna combo. Maybe he was lagging, maybe he had some bad internet connection or something, but he was taking long. And then he tried to swing with his 7 drop, but I point out that you can't attack with any of your battle cards unless they're 8 and higher. because my leader's ability triggered. He's been playing a card either for free or for 1 energy in order to turn off his field card. So here I'm trying to burn off the. Well, I'm trying to get my defender in rest mode, but I can't attack because I just played it this turn. So, but he's God sealing it, so it goes back to my hand. I was considering replaying it, but it's like, nah. I use my leader's ability, so I get another copy of the Unison. So as you can see, I got the Sensor Beam stuff, so you're gonna see some nifty little trick here. I do the Sensor Beam stuff. So now I'm 35k double strike. And of course he's gonna Sensor Beam. Then he plays a super combo. Then he plays 10k. So I think that was what he said. 45k, yeah, 45k. Only needed 40k, but he wants to go 45, no problem. He goes 45k on that, and then yeah, I attack with my Unison, and we all saw that he said no response, but then he realized, oh no, I want to block it. Okay, fair enough. I'll allow it. So I do my ability to get rid of his 2 cards. Obviously, it's barrier blocker. She's getting in the way. She adds kind of like another God seal. Then I swing 20k to this leader. He of course blocks. I restand. So he loses a marker. Swing. Once after he's 25k, it's like, yeah, you double Sensor Beam, like, okay. That's bad. That's why it was a bit awkward that he blocked the first time. I guess he probably didn't realize he did have Sensor Beam because he didn't mark it that it had Sensor Beam on it, like how I do. It's that way, but whatever. So I was unaware that he was still Sensor Beam, and so I blocked that. See, because right now my Unison will be in active mode, and I will use it to block. It's funny how he attacks it with the leader, so it's like, okay, same thing. I would have blocked it anyway, so I got the same result regardless, but it's very important to pay attention. Because most people leave Sensor Beam on the board, so that way people don't forget. So he plays another copy of his Unison. He's got a plus, obviously. You notice how our hand sizes are very, very small. And you see that I have 7 life and he has 3. So we're what, turn 5 or 6 or something like that. Something like that. I think I see turn 17. Because it's kind of both of our turns, so turn 17. We got like about almost 10 minutes left of this. And as you can see, my opponent's at 1 life. And now I'm taking damage. You see at 5. I do the leader's ability, which puts me to less cards than he has. Notice that I shouldn't be doing this because my Unison is enough to draw me a card, at least 1 card a turn, so I at least have something to play. And since I don't need to charge anymore, that'll be 2 cards a turn, and 2 cards a turn is enough. Doing what, 4 cards a turn? 4 cards. Doing 4 cards a turn is a bad idea. Because that will put me closer to decking out. But here's the thing. I'd rather lose from decking out than from being knocked out. It's one of my dueling philosophies. I'd rather lose that way than to lose because my opponent dealt me a lot of damage. So that's a test of the deck strength if the only way I lost. was because I ran out of cards. And I played 60 card build, so if I run out of cards, it's because the game went that long. A lot's happened for me to run out of 60 cards. Right. How many cards I got under that leader? Probably got like 10 cards on that leader easily. Let's see what's going on there. Okay. Oh yeah, his effect, so I ended up having to ramp. It's just funny, he's ramping me. So now I got that extra blue energy. So I have 5 blue energy in my energy area, so that's useful. We'll see how useful it is. Still playing, yeah, it's still playing. Just things are taking long. Like this, like he's taking a little bit long. So I don't charge. I use my unison to draw. I'm swinging, obviously. You can see, man, unison combat, man. It's how I roll. Ironically, I'm thinking of probably fitting in more unisons into this build. Currently, I got 16 unisons. Might bump it up to 20. Maybe even more. Maybe even 24, 28. We'll see. Because I'm leaning way more towards the extra unison deck concept. Since I largely rely on the unisons. I need very little battle cards. I definitely need a board wipe. The unisons I'm using so far are good for their individual utility. Here I was like, oh, I want to respond. And I was like having trouble remembering where the response button was, so I just typed out like, I want a response, because it's like I got Cold Bloodless. Dirty Burst, and I definitely want to use it because this is the exact moment of purpose for this card effect. So don't want his 8-drop attacking and ripping cards out my hands. So I dropped the Oceanus. I was able to go through. If you know he probably has God's Seal, he's probably saving it or whatever. Because notice his hand size is big again. He got 2, 4, 6. He got 7 cards in his hand. I only got 1 in mine. But I was able to survive that turn. Let's see. I think I remember to send that to a drop unless that was already on. Was that already there? Or was that the card that was trying to? Okay, that's what it was. That was already there. I thought that was the card I meant to discard for Oceanus, but it's like, no, I discarded something else, 4-star ball, for the second to Oceanus. So that's supposed to be there. Alright. So obviously I'm gonna go for swings. Oh no, it's still his turn. So starts doing some stuff. Let's see. Oh, it's my turn. So I'm swinging. Yes, it is my turn. So swing, he does that, so he draws. Which of course I could be taken advantage of. So I'm thinking, oh, that's what it's about. Waiting for him to combo to see if his blocker survives or not. But he finally does. And I paid 2 black overrealm, so now I got 29 cards on my warp. He hits the field, waited enough time. It's like, alright, time to warp him. And then I wait until he got warped and then draw just in case. So it's like, alright, I pay 3, get this bad boy out there. And swing with the unison to try to get some damage through. He blocks. And my turn, so the overall is gone. Since I can't attack, because I already attacked with something. So a combination of my leader effect as well as his field card effect is slowing us down. Drops another barrier blocker. I get rid of one of my tokens, which of course turns off his. I remember that. It's a good combo. It turns off his field card, so now when he plays his 7-drop, 7-drop can attack this turn. Swings. Play that. Makes me discard. See, if I did sparking, I would have had an extra card in my hand. So I would have took a life, then I would have had a discard. So like, yeah, that 7-drop's gonna be in the way. He plays another one for free. Oh, he can't attack the battle cards. Since with his leader, I let it die. It's not much I could do. So I got like, oh, got me another dirty burst. Got 3 cards left in my deck. Opponent has 5. Swing again. 20k. He blocks. I don't know. Oh, okay. He's blocking with her. Waiting for him to decide if he's going to charge. He's going to combo to save her or let her die. They comboed. I draw a card, so now I'm at 2 cards left in my deck. I'm fully aware that, you know, I'll run out of cards, and it's like no point in, you know, holding back. I'm just trying to test out the deck's capabilities and how long I can defend. I want to see how long it takes before my life hits 0, right? The opponent's life is already at 1. I keep swinging. So I do the sparking thing, so now I'm at 4. Now I got mirror in my hand, so that's cute. And since I did the sparking thing, I had a card to discard for his Android 17's effect, so I was able to keep mirror in that scenario. Since he attacked with 7, none of his other battle cards can attack. So all he has is leader in unison. So that worked out for him there. The super combo. So trying to see if he's gonna do his super 17 and his energy and bring out the 217s and burn me for 2 at least. I guess he's waiting until I'm at 2 life and then do that. That's probably what he's waiting for me to be at 2 life. So just gonna swing until I'm that weak. You notice I got 1 card left in my deck. I play this. So this has 215,000 attack or some shit like that right now. Something like that. Has a very high attack power. And then it's like, yeah, GG. I'm gonna use my leader's ability, right, to end myself out because it's like, there's no point. in attacking because he has the Boolean essence effect to negate, to bottom deck my card. Granted, see, like that's the funny thing. If I didn't, do the leader ability and I went straight to attacking, and then of course he would bottom deck, so it's not like I was going to win on that attack. He was going to bottom deck it, and then I would still have 2 cards left. And we know my bottom card will be Mirror, so my last card in my deck will be Mirror. But of course, my warp is already empty by this time. So even if I do draw Mirror, but I'll lose because it'll be the last card of my deck that I drew, so I would just lose from that. But if I wasn't drawing in and allow myself some time, because the funny thing is I could have played a threat, right, with the intention of him bottom decking it, so that way I could slow the bleeding, as they say, or slow the bleeding of the decking out. But I just wanted to test to see how far the deck can go, and of course I didn't need to use my leader effect as much as I did, or even at all. I could have just kept using the Raditz, just kept drawing whatever, just draw what I needed and play what I can and do what I can with what I got. I didn't need to go that hard, as they say. I didn't need to go that hard with the leader effect. But sometimes you need it. The other reason for using the leader effect multiple times is because I'm trying to fill up my drop with at least 10-20 cards for the mirror play. So that way when I drop mirror can be like at 100k plus. I mean, just 10 cards would get mirror to like 80k power, something like that, right? Because 10 cards in the warp is 50k power, on top of the fact he's 30k, so that's 80k. If I want to get him stronger than that, then 20 cards would give him an extra 100k, so that will make him 130k single damage. And I do have E Supreme Kaizen decks, so I could give him double strike under the right conditions, and 130k double strike my opponent for game. Right? So just a matter of making sure I'm at the right point at the right time. But that's the way that cookie crumbles. At least I still have 4 life when I lost. It's a victory for me. Then, that's the other thing I want to point out. Well, the fact that the game took 2 hours to play out, obviously this would have been a scenario where I would have won just by time, just because I had way more life than my opponent for way too long. I mean, halfway through the video, I was still, 6 life? Even when I was at 5, I was like 5 life, and he was at 1. So time would have ran out, in a 1 hour round, and time would have ran out, and him at 1, me at 5, I would have won just in time. But if I played with the intent of him decking out, then that would have been the other, so I would have won in either one of those 2 scenarios. But I wanted to see what happened, so I just YOLO'd, and as you can see, the power. Try it out at the end of the video.